Do you want to get better at backgammon? One of the best ways to do it is by watching top players play, but sometimes that's not enough because you don't know what's going through their mind. It's always useful if they're able to explain their thought process, and that's exactly what we do in this video. As my good friend Backgammon Grandmaster Chris Trencher joins me to play a match against XG in the Backgammon with Grandmasters series. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. Again, in this video, it's my great pleasure to welcome back my good friend, Backgammon Grandmaster Chris Trencher. Hello.
Hey, how are you, Alex? And I'm glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
Very good. It's always a pleasure to see you. I saw you last weekend at the tournament in Los Angeles, and it's always really nice to be able to see people in person. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Unfortunately, I didn't get the results over the board that I wanted, but that did give me the opportunity to come and join you on the stream. I think everybody thought the stream went very well, and you had a good variety of people come in. I was fortunate enough to do the second round of the Super Jackpot match between Oliver Squire and Dana Nazarian, both very, very good players, of course. And then I joined later on. I don't recall what match it was. Maybe it was the fifth round of the second chance between Jonas Ewald and Roberto Litzenberger.
Oh
So
yeah.
a couple of very good matches, and I was there. I was there watching and commenting in a couple of other cases where I wasn't the quote unquote lead commentator, but was part of the conversation. So it was good fun, and I think we had a good number of people watching and liking, and high quality commentary. So it was a big addition to the tournament.
Yeah, it was great. Kind of Candace, said I'm gonna be doing the streaming and the commentary, so I had to kind of like do two things, and then like about a week before she said, also you're gonna do the social media. So I had to take like pictures and do all this other stuff. But we had a lot of positive feedback from all of it, and specifically from yours. People said your commentary was very insightful and educational. So I wanted to thank you for that. I also wanted to thank you for helping setting up the Super Jackpot, which was a new event, and that was your initiative. So that went really well. So thank you for that. And the other thing is, we had you on the stream playing a match, and you had a very strong performance against Steve Sachs. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, the Steve match was tough. I think I was up 9-5, and then he wound up catching me. But I've played Steve at the end of, or in this case, we played in the first round, which wasn't ideal to get matched up against each other. The last time I played him was the final of the Masters in June, which I was fortunate enough to win. So I've had the pleasure of playing Steve a number of times, and it's always close match over the board, close match PR wise, and fun to look at later.
Yeah, we were doing the commentary, and there's always something interesting to learn when we're watching you play, and hopefully in this match as well.
Yeah, and I'll sure I'll make enough mistakes to comment on it, but yeah, I enjoy doing this, and like I've said before in this, I think we're all trying to grow the game, and most of the people who are coming to the game want to learn and get better, and people like learning through a variety of different means. Some can self-train on XG, some can read the classical books ranging from the Paul McGreal book, Backgammon, the quote-unquote Bible, to some of the more recent books that have been written by players that are active on the scene now. But I think these videos are another very useful media for delivering information, and different strokes for different folks. And so I'm happy to contribute to the library on that.
Yes, yes, thank you. I've gotten a lot of feedback in terms of these videos, or even when we do the stream. Every match that you watch with the commentary is like a lesson, and I was proud to say every single match that we had streamed had one or more expert commentators, which is always valuable rather than just having a silent match. And the majority of the matches included one of the top players in the world, like a grandmaster like yourself, Steve Sachs, and others. So that was fantastic. Let me pull up this here. Are you able to see the board now, Chris?
Yes, no, I do.
Okay, very good. So we'll play a 5-point match against XG. We're playing on a beautiful Backgammon Galaxy X22 Paul McGreal Memorial board. They designed this board because these are the colors on the cover of his book. Backgammon, the XG board is made by Rain. He makes beautiful XG boards. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And you'll be playing the red checkers at the bottom, XG the white checkers at the top, bearing off on the right. We're interested in hearing your thought process, and I might ask some questions for the viewers. And here we go.
All right.
So 4-2, straightforward. 6-1. Okay, now double one.
And we'll make the bar point and the 5 point.
Okay. Any
This
thought
this
as to splitting like
nope,
that?
nope.
Okay.
No, white's we're now well ahead. And white has a few awkward numbers that can leave us a direct shot. And we in some variations will have a double next roll. Not many, but some.
I mean, what would it need? What would it need to happen for it not to be a double?
What would it need? Yeah, something that doesn't significantly improve white's position.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So 6-5, that's two down. And now,
This is not a bad number. But yeah, we're gonna double here. We have too big a lead in development, and in addition to the possibility of us improving our position, most doubles, well, not double sixes, but all the other doubles will improve our position. Plus numbers like 5-4, 5-3 allow us to slot the back of the prime. White has the risk that they'll roll an awkward number that doesn't make use of the 3 points with builders on it next time. You know, he's got his good numbers like 3-1, 2-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3 type stuff, but there's also numbers like 6-2, 6-3, 5-1, 5-2 that could leave another shot. So I'm gonna double here.
and you could also roll a number that'll pop out to the
Yep.
outfield where he would have to break the midpoint. Okay.
Right. And if that becomes a 2, 3, or 4 shot, then that's going to in some cases duplicate the numbers that are useful for him to make either his 4 or 5 point.
And then you think it's a take for white.
Yes.
Okay. So very good. Okay, so now 4-2.
Okay, so we double these. Okay, good.
Correct. It doesn't take.
I don't particularly care for the splits of the 22 here, because then you um, allow some of the like the 5-3, 4-3, 5-4 type numbers to play moderately well. One of the characteristics of this is that he needs small numbers to split on his side, so I'm going to split to the 20 and then play 13-11.
This.
Yeah, and now we're really in a position to squeeze the position if he rolls one of those numbers that doesn't point on the 5 point. If he rolls a number that plays well, makes the 4 the 3, we can roll a 4, securing our defense. If he rolls one of those numbers, like a 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 5-1, 5-2 type, it's going to be very awkward for him.
Would you consider bringing two down like this?
I think that's reasonable, but I think the split with the 4 is preferable here.
Okay, very good. So we'll see. Let's take a look. Okay, double three. Okay.
All right. Well, that's going to be a great shot for him, and would have been a great shot regardless. Okay.
All right. So now 5-2. So there's the 2.
And now white has a more formidable offense, and we are exposed on the other side. So it's not automatic for us to play 13-8 and slot the back of the prime. Now, if we come in with a 1-5, I would play 13-8 unhesitatingly, because then the positions clearly become prime versus prime, and we want to slot it now. But now, because it's a 2-5, we're exposed to pointing and double hitting numbers on the other side. So it's not clear to play 13-8. So I've got to think for a second. Yeah, I think I prefer to play 11-6 here.
11-6. Okay. And the second option you would think would be 13-8.
That's the only other option.
Yeah. Okay. 3-2. So Makes that point. All right, so now looking for 6.
6 or at least a 1.
No, 3, 2.
Ouch. All right, the 3 is down 13-10.
What are the options you're considering for the 2?
13-11 or 10-8.
So
Maybe
you want
maybe
to,
maybe I should have played 13-8 last time. Yeah, let's counter slot the back of the prime with 10-8 because we need to
yeah,
be able to make that if he rolls a 5.
there's this adage that says the best way to counter a prime is with a counter prime.
Yeah,
Okay, 4, 2.
all right, he's gonna hit here. Oh no, he
Or,
didn't. Okay, nice.
and now, obviously 4, 3.
All right, we'll make the 3-point.
Let's do it. Okay. 3, 1.
I mean, and hit loose.
Hit back. Okay.
Any entering number is great for us here.
3, 2. Okay, so there's the 2.
All right, so here, I could play 7-4, but I think he's going to come out with a 6 anyway. If I play 13-10, I'm now giving him 13 numbers, and if he doesn't roll one of those 13 numbers, we'll lock up the bar next time, and we are going to have a major edge in the priming battle. Indeed, if he misses with a 5 now, he has to leave us a shot. So I think I'm just going to take the chance here and roll 13-10 and play 13-10.
Would it make a difference if the cube were centered or if you own the cube?
Um, if I own the cube, that would lead me to play a little bit more conservatively and consider 7-4, but having already doubled, one of the things you always have to bear in mind in backgammon is when you have cube access, you need to get to approximately 78% to win the game. When you don't have cube access to win the game, you have to win the game, which means you have to get to 100%. And I think it's worth taking a chance in fading the 13 numbers. And the 6s would be good anyway to more or less ensure that we can make the bar next time. So I would say if the cube is in the middle, I would make this play. I'd probably make it in any situation, but the one scenario in which I would think about not making it is if we already have the cube.
So you're referring to the 13 hitting numbers, including the 4 that hit two checkers, like
Yeah, I just
6,
yeah
1, 6, 3.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Okay.
yeah.
Very good. 5, 2
All right.
doesn't do it. Okay. So now that worked. 6, 4.
So
Okay.
just cover it and play 13-9.
Okay.
And now we should win. We should win this priming battle easily. We've got a massive timing edge here.
Double 6. Okay.
That's gonna do it.
So that was kind of a market losing sequence finally. Double 1.
Just make it and play 10-7.
Okay. 3, 2 will kill another checker.
Okay, out all the way.
Continue.
Now we're just hoping to get more checkers.
Now there's some gammons in play.
Okay, we can make the deuce point here.
All right, double
Oh,
shot.
that was his worst.
Double 6. Okay.
Fortunately, okay, we have to go now. 1,
1,
2.
2.
No. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
1,
14-8 and then 23-5.
and then like this. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And now, so for the viewers, what's the goal? Where do you want to put these checkers in the board as you're bearing in, ideally?
Um, if you were bearing against a structure for which a hit was certain or likely to lose, you would then follow the advice Amici gives us of building mountains on the 4 and 5 point and preparing to clear the 6 point very quickly. If you had the type of board that he has with everybody inside, and our 2 checkers on the 8 point were further back on his side of the board, we could consider breaking the bar point and releasing the checkers on the 24 in the hopes of closing both out and winning a gammon. But we can't do that with those checkers already advanced to the 8. So here I'm going to just clear the 8-point next roll and hopefully roll a 2, because in this situation we're going to be kind of in a greedy bear off mode to maximize our chance of a gammon, because we're not worried about losing here given White's decrepit board.
Very good. Okay. 3-1.
Mm.
Kill some numbers. Okay, so now 3-2.
Both in from the 8-point.
Okay. 4-3. 5-4.
Clear the bar.
No. 6-3. Okay.
And
2-1.
now we'll close them out.
Very good. So like some of the things that people ask me on these videos is just teach them how to use XG. So one of the things that you can do is if you can make a point with the 2 numbers here, you just double click and it'll do it for you.
Okay.
Okay. 6-1, so 6. Like that.
Yep.
Okay. 6-5.
Okay. Good.
Double 5. Okay. 2-1.
All right, let's play 5-3 and then bear the checker off. Now right here, if we only cared about safety, we would play 4-3 instead of bearing the checker off. But here we want to maximize our gammons, of which there's still probably about 15 or 20%, given the one guy on the roof and the second checker still on our 10-point.
And at this score with this cube level, the gammons are particularly valuable because getting from 5 away to 3 away, you get to kind of like an awkward score, but getting from 3 away to 1 away Crawford, that's pretty valuable.
Very, yeah, very valuable.
Yeah. Okay, 6-4 comes in.
And that's going to save the
So
gammons.
this will be straightforward. Okay.
I think it's going to save the gammons.
The other thing you can do with XG is click on the checker tray twice, and that'll bear off 2 checkers if you can bear them off directly with 2 numbers. Okay, so that saved the gammon. But the game is gin. Okay. Very good. Okay, so now 2-0, 3 away, 5 away, 3-2.
Okay. So with the lead, we're in a sort of, I don't want to say it's quite gammon save yet, but we're in a more of a defensive posture. So with a defensive posture, you're normally looking to provoke some contact that will lead to you establishing some sort of anchor in your opponent's board. So with that in mind, we'll open up by playing 24-21 and 13-11.
What would you play if the score were reversed?
If it was a gammon go situation, you bring 2 down from the midpoint. That's the most offensive minded play.
Okay. Double 4. Okay. Now 4-3. Okay, so here's the 3.
So we have 2 choices. We can come out 22-18, which will duplicate his 6s to hit. The other choice is we can play 11-7, which will duplicate the 2 to hit on our side of the board with the 2 to hit 2 on his side of the board. I think this is a little bit less provocative, so I like this play better.
Yeah, I think so. Like, let's say you came out here and White had only a single 6 to play. They'd hit over here on the bar point, right?
Usually, the advantage of staying inside is you don't allow White to pull to hit and in the process pull another checker down from the midpoint, because
Right.
White is looking at it. You know, when you've got the lead here, we don't want to have to take anything gammonish. And if White is allowed to hit us and pull another checker down from the midpoint directly into the attacking zone, that makes it more gammonish. So we'd rather White use a checker that's already in the zone, and particularly hope the one on 17 if he can, because that's going to improve his position less when he hits. So, and here the checker on the 7 is not exposed too much because White's not terribly excited about breaking his anchor on our
Right.
5-point to hit. So I think that this, and at this point, we're losing this game. We just want to stabilize and make an anchor that can allow us to take without much gammon risk. And I think this gives us the best chance to do it.
Very good. Okay, 6-3. Comes down and hits. Okay. 5-1.
So we would have liked to have rolled a more productive number. Even with a number like, I was gonna say 2 would be good. I think we need to come in on the 20 and make our bar.
Yeah. I think like a lot of people, the viewers ask questions about these types of situations. Like when I think about it, I see, okay, you're on the bar, so you have to come in. So you can either come in with the 5 or come in with the 1. So say you come in with the 5, the only reasonable ace would be here. If you come in with the 1, you don't really have a good 5 and you're stuck back there.
No, yeah, you would play 13-8, but the problem with that is then you allow him to consolidate more easily, and if he makes the bar, he's got a very strong position. Yeah, so this just doesn't work.
So if you were white here and red made this play, would you double at this score?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Okay, so what about after this play?
I think well, what's he got? He's got 9 in the zone, and he's on our 5 point, and it's him. I would double here too, but I think we have a better. I think we have a clear take here, and I'm not so sure about the other position.
Okay, so for double you
I think
take.
this is a strong double in either case.
Okay.
Okay, take.
6-2 points on head. 6-1
Uh-oh.
can't come in.
That's not good.
6-4. Well, that's actually not so bad. Makes the points behind. Okay, so that was strong. 3-2. Okay, so 3.
He's just spreading his checkers out. At this point, our only consideration is stabilizing and forming an anchor somewhere to get off the gammon. Six, one, 3, 5. If we come out, he's got 5, 1, 3, 6s. He's 19, 17. Help us. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got such a diversity of numbers. We're going to get hit somewhere. We're just hoping we don't get immediately killed. And I'd like to play 6-4, but there's just a chance that if we do that, he's going to hit us. We're going to come back and hit 1 checker, which is we're going to need to do to avoid getting gammon. And then that blot just becomes the liability because we never have time to cover it. So I'm going to come out 19-17.
The other benefit of being attacked here is when you're attacked here on the 19 point, if you're hit loose, the opponent is also slotting that point to be able to possibly make it next
Yep.
should you miss. But that's
Yep.
not as big a thing if they make their 8 point.
Yep.
Okay. Double 2 hits that way. Okay. 4-2 can't come in. Right. 6-1. Okay, so there's the 6.
All right, let's play 17-16.
So what's your thought process of playing this versus like 19 to 18?
Um, oh, I don't want to leave. I don't want to put both checkers in his outer board. Some of his 5. If he hits with a 5 and leaves it there, we'll at least get a direct shot.
Right, with the 4-1 or
Yeah.
6-5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 6-5 is kind of duplicated anyway.
Yeah, 6-5. Yeah. Okay. 6-2 hits like that. 4-2 cannot come in. Looking for a 6 soon.
He just picks it up there because he figures he doesn't need to close us out.
Okay, so that'll
That
save
looks
some
safe
hands.
gammon. All right, so let's just bring 3 down from the midpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we just want to come in efficiently. So we'll play 19-16, 8-6. Okay, 16, 11, 7, 6.
6.
Okay, 19, 13, 11, 6.
Would you consider wasting a pip by doing that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, actually, that's not bad. Those are 7 away. But I think we're gonna have not yet. I think we're gonna have we're gonna have some twos eventually, and I'm gonna play my 2, 7, 5. So I'm not worried about covering the 5 point. All right,
Alright.
let's bring these two down. All right, 9, 3, and I'll go with 8, 5.
Your pip.
All right, 8, 2, 7, 3.
7, 4, yeah.
We actually, if he doesn't roll a double, we can save here. All right, 2 in, so we can save next time. And we managed to save this somehow.
Oh, barely. Okay, so now 3 away, 3 away, 4, 1.
13, 9, 24, 23.
Okay.
And let's make 5 point.
Five, 4.
Let's make our 4 point.
Okay. You want to take a roll at this score?
Well, we've got a 3 point match. We've got an edge here. I've got the hard 6s to cover, plus 2, 4, and 3, 3, which is 14, plus 4, 3, which is 17.
6,
I
1
roll
makes
2
bar
3s,
point.
that makes us 4 point. That's 19. Double 5s is pretty good. Yeah, I'll take a roll.
I remember reading about this type of thing in Mark Olson and Mochi's book, Backgammon Masterclass, where Mark talks about doubling in what he calls undefined positions, where both players have one or more checkers back. So he kind of looks at all these things. And yeah, I mean, you think red's a favorite now, right? On roll?
Oh, we're clearly a favorite.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% confident that this isn't a double.
Yeah. Okay. So you wouldn't be surprised if it's a double.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially at the score. So 6,
Okay, we're
1,
gonna
you can
hit,
hit,
obviously.
you can hit, and
Yeah, then the question is, do we play 6, 5 or 24, 23 to connect? I'm thinking now about red's or rather white's range of numbers and what will allow him to take a cube next roll. Let's go with 6, 5.
yeah.
If the block comes in on the deuce or 3 point and he doesn't hit on the 17, our structure is going to be more menacing to him and be more gammonish if we have this split.
Right. That was kind of what I was thinking too. Okay. 2, 6. Okay, so hits.
Okay, now we can't double.
Double. 2, 1. Okay.
All right, we'll make the 23.
6, 5. Hit him out. Okay, so a lot of return shots. Are there enough return shots to double with all these blots?
No, we would have to hit something and then have him fan to lose our market, I think, for the most part. So no, we're not doubling here.
2.
Okay, so we'll make the 21 here.
Any consideration with all these blots to possibly make a tempo play like this? I mean, I know you don't like 3 on the 23 point, right?
No, I mean, obviously we can double if he fans, because you know, with his 3 blots here. But I think there's a lot of numbers that come in. If he comes in 3-1 or 2-1, he can tie up the 3 blots, 3-4, 3-5, 2-5, 2-6 that allow him to clean this up partially, and then we're stuck with 3 on the 23 and a blot on our ace point. If this was a cash game and I had already doubled, I think that that's more reasonable, but I think here, by doing this, no matter what he rolls, we are gonna have a viable position next time because we'll be solid, we'll have the anchor on his side of the board, we'll have a clean structure on our side of the board, and with these 4 blots, he's not gonna be able to clean up everything, and so then we'll be able to focus on going on offense next roll.
Very good. Now double 2. Some cleanup, okay?
I'm clean up, yeah.
3-1.
All right, well, we would have liked it, but all right, so now we'll play, we'll hit with the 6-3. And then the 1 defaults to 5-4.
5-4. Would you consider splitting now that you've got one on the bar?
No. No, there's no reason to split there. That just puts his stack of checkers on his 6 and 7 are 19 and 18 points into play. I mean, at this point, you know, he has a lot of his checkers, you know, more or less contained by our 3 back checkers, and by splitting, that just opens up double hit variations that can get us in trouble. And we're not worried about being primed at all. I mean, yeah, he might roll double 1s, which would be a great shot for him. But even if that happened, I mean, we're only looking at 3-point prime.
Okay. 6-3, Vincent comes
So
out.
Okay.
6-4, so 4 and then
6. Yep.
very good. Right. So still got a roll, right?
Yep.
4-3.
That hits on the 14.
Good. Double 2. Okay. 4-1.
So there's 2 plays here. Come in on the 21 and hit 4-3, or come in on the 24 and hit 7-3. I think I like this better because it doesn't create additional blot. I guess there's one other play that could be considered, which is come in on the 21 and just pick up 7-6. I think this is a bit passive. Well, actually, this is not so bad. All right, so it's either this or come in on the 24 and hit 7-3. So if we do this, what does this look like? Here he's got a bunch of hitters and he's got some double hitters, but we certainly can take, because if he rolls well, we can make a second anchor. And if he fans or comes in with a 5, you know, we've got a lot of play. Now the other play is to just come in. Let's look at the other play again. Come in on the 21 and play 7-6. Now we are challenging him to clean up the position. So he rolls an ace. If that comes with a 4, it's very strong. If it comes with any other number, we'll have plenty to shoot at. If he rolls 5-4, he can point on us. If he rolls 6-5, he can make the outside pointer, play 22-11. I actually think I like this play better. Like again, I think the hit is a little bit loose. We don't have a lot to cover with. We have only a 3-point board. This challenges him to clean up in a situation where he may not be able to tidy the position. So I actually think I like this better.
Yeah, and sometimes when I think about swing rolls, like it's pretty easy to do when you have something like this. Of course, when you're on the bar, you know, the large numbers fan. So sometimes what I do is I say, okay, let's make the other play and let's see how those other rolls play. Like 5-4 is really good, double four is really good, six is 6-5, 6-4. You know, sometimes I think of it that way, but I think there are a lot of lots to consolidate. So this is very, very reasonable as well. This will be an interesting one to analyze. So this is the play you like?
Yeah.
Okay. 2-1. Okay.
Yeah, this is the better outcome for us, and the other play would have produced to get another guy sent back.
Double two.
All right. So there's two plays here. We can make our 9-point, which creates another blot. Or we can just bring the straggler up in the back and then bring 3 down and then play from here.
What about like some of the other things I see is like, I don't think I would do this, but you could do this and then do a fourth one. Alternatively, you could just bring one in, so in case he runs out, you have more builders.
Um, we could make the deuce point, but there's a couple drawbacks to that, which is one, um, we have no other builders on the top of our prime then, so that would not discourage him from running from our 3-point if he rolled a number that's suitable to do so, like 6-3, 5-4, or 6-5. So it doesn't help us that much. The other problem is, yeah, I mean that's the main issue with that. I don't think I want to make the 9-point because then, then we're creating another blot with the ace point, and that combined with our rear blot just gives us some hitting variations where you can get to a decent cube like 1-1, 1-3, 1-4. So I think I'm going to bring the back checker up. I mean, there's value to maintaining our midpoint, so maybe we do make the deuce point here. The normal variation here is he's going to swing if he rolls a neat number like 4-3 or 5-4, he's going to make the point behind us. The 23 or 24 point behind us. If he rolls a 6 in those variations, he's got to bring it into the 5-point. Then we just play out next roll. My thought in bringing 3 down from 13 to 11 is we still have an outfield point that contains his 2 rear ones, and then we can use a 6 to play 11-5 because then we'd like that builder on the 11 to ultimately make its way to the 5-point. So then we'd have builders in all 3 points, discouraging him from leaving. And in the meantime, most of our numbers would be played off of the 21-point, though this does give him a chance to make a point in the outfield. If he rolls 6-4, 5-3, 4-2, 3-1, for example, he can make another blocking point. So you know what? The more I think about it, I'm going to go to your play. Or what will you suggest? I'm going to make the deuce point and then bring the straggler up. Let's do that.
You know what it makes me think of is I don't think anyone's ever
This
written
is
it.
not an easy play, and I'm not at
No,
all.
it's not. It's not. Something that I don't think anyone's ever written about, but it's about the 6. So the 6 is the only number on the die where you are always forced to move a checker from one quadrant to the next, or bear off a checker or bring one in from the bar. No other number requires you to do that. So look at like if white rolls a 6, he can come out here, but that'll strip everything else. If
Right, and then
red,
we're just And then we're in most variations just going to play a checker off the 21. And if we don't roll an 8, we'll leave a blot in his outer board, which he would have to break his midpoint to hit. And us being hit's not going to cost us too much because he has a 3-point board and we've got a high anchor. And there are variations then that we wind up with control of the outfield. So we have two edges in this position. One is we have a slightly better anchor, and two is we have much better mobility because we have we have more time and more checkers in the outfield.
Yeah. Okay. So this one.
Yeah.
Okay. 6-5. So just like that.
He's gonna run now. He's gonna run for sure.
Okay. So now the 10s.
Yeah.
5
This
2s.
was a very good number for him because he was able to lead the anchor without any
Right.
risk in us having made the deuce point. Took the spares off. So we are forced to play 13-11 with the 2 here because we don't have any other viable 2. And now the choice is 21-16 with the 5 or 11-6 with that same checker. Now the problem we have here is that let's count the race.
It's there. It's 29.
Yeah, we're down 29 pips in the race. So we really cannot concede variations where he moves into our outfield with the rear blot. We miss that shot, and then he's got a chance to consolidate the position into a race that he's got a big lead. So we want to play for some contact. Like I said, the 2 is forced, and I'm going to come out with the 5.
Yeah.
It's risky, but we just need to mix it up here to not give him any simple to not facilitate him running.
So if you were white at this score, would you double here?
No.
No. Okay. 6-3 runs out.
The other advantage of this is when he rolls this number, we now have a chance to roll another 5 or 6-1 and make
Right.
And if we roll a 5 here, we'll play the 5, 21-16, play the other number with the checker on the 11 point, and then on the following rolls, we'll sacrifice the 13 point, our original midpoint, because this new point that we made, the 16 point, is a more effective hindrance to white bringing those 5 last checkers home.
Okay. 3-1.
And unfortunately, we didn't roll a 5. So now we need to play 16-13. Now at this point, we don't want to get hit because we don't want to let him clear with any tempo and then 11-10. Yeah.
Down.
And he doubles.
34 pips.
All right, so your take point in a 3 away, assuming there's no gammons, is 30%, less your recube equity. Just using O'Hagan's formula is 70% of your take point, and his 4-cube retake point. His 4-cube retake point would be 25%. So you'd have 25% of 70% times 30%, which is 5%. So we need about 26% adjusted upward if there's any gammons. I don't think we're going to lose too many gammons here. So let's say we need 24, 25%. I think you have it. So we take.
Did you say take?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
2-1.
Let's play 13-11 and then 10-9.
6-2.
Trying to figure out if there's a benefit of playing 21-15 and then leaving it there. Those are the 2 blots. It will not be correct for him to hiss if he leaves a direct shot in his board. All right, yeah, let's do that. 21-15 and then 9-7.
What would be the alternative play? If you
The
didn't cut
alternative play would just be like 11-3, slotting our 3 point.
11-3, yeah. like that.
Well, I think we want to get that checker out now while there's no danger in doing so.
Or
So
what
it's
about just like this too? Was that
we could do that, but it hinders him a little bit because if he rolls a number like double threes, for example, he can't clear his 13 point. So I don't mind leaving it
yeah?
there.
The other thing I sometimes think about if you're gonna slot the 3-point is like the nifty shifty play, as Kent Goulding says. So now you have 6s and 8s instead of 6s and 10s. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but we're not gonna break it. Yeah,
yeah,
this is fine.
this is fine. Yeah, okay. 3-1, okay. Hits and
Ouch.
covers, double 5. All right. Another double 5.
We would we rolled a perfecta, then we this was an unfortunate variation.
I think these might be the Galaxy dice that come with this board. And then
Same
with the
checker. Now we're just running off the gammon. Yeah.
5, 3.
All right, 5 and 11, 6, and 15, 12.
Do you want to spread out with this, or do you want to bring 15 to 12?
I was gonna play 15, 12, but 13, 10 is fine too. Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you.
Yeah, we'll go with this.
This okay.
Okay, 2 down, 13, 8, 13, 10. Okay, the 2 is 8, 6. Do we leave from the back? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Double 2. No, yeah, let's play 10, 7. Or 10, 5, rather. All right, 4. Let's play 21, 17. Seventeen, 15, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
15, 12, and 7, 6. Both checkers. 12, 6, 12, 9. 21, 16, 9, 6, and now we have a chance if he misses. And, yeah.
Oh. All right, now we'll analyze it. Well played. So I can't see that. So we'll
Well,
go
actually,
through.
there were not any meaningful cube errors, so there was some checker player. Let's see what it was.
Yeah, so let's see, the 4-2 was straightforward. We'll go through them one at a time, but the straightforward ones. And this was right to make the solid prime. And this is what we're talking about.
All right, it was.
Small double, but still take
How's the next? How's the 4-2 look?
the 4-2. Yeah, this was the idea, although this was close to, yeah.
I could see the next play was incorrect. We should
The
have.
5-2. Yeah, this is where it likes slotting the bar point.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I guess that was the thing
It's generally tougher to make those plays where you are um, creating additional blots on your side of the board if you have multiple checkers exposed to attack on the other side. Obviously, here this has strong elements of prime versus prime, and it's an exception to the rule to slot the back of the prime. But you have to be careful about doing this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you have prime versus prime, I've come up with like certain, I wouldn't say hard and fast rules, but certain themes. So in general, when you're in a prime versus prime situation, there are multiple factors to consideration. Well, who has the longer prime? That person usually has an advantage. If the prime is solid versus broken, that's important. If the back checkers are at the edge of the prime versus not at the edge of the prime, if the back checkers are split, the number of back checkers, and all of those things. So I guess being split, you already have the advantage, and also having a broken prime versus a solid prime, that's an advantage. So I guess it just wants you to make the prime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then here, this is where you had to,
Yeah.
and then this was forced virtually.
Now let's see this 2-3. This is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this
Maybe
was good. You
Yeah,
explained
yeah,
it.
this was.
Very good. And then the 6-4 was down here.
After, from this point, we basically just cruised home.
And here, because of this prime, there wasn't a double. So that was there. 5-4 came out there and then there, and
The rest
there
of
was
this,
nothing special here. Okay.
so we go to the next game.
Okay. Game 2 there, and then the 4-3. Yeah, this is what you discussed, so that was correct. And the 5-1, also we had discussed this one.
Yeah, notice bar 24 and 13-8 there is huge. The double blunder. It's just way too passive.
Yeah. Okay, and this was a
All
double,
right, yeah, it was an easy take. Okay.
easy take. Is there anything we could have done that would make it like a pass or not, or a stronger double or a weaker double?
Uh,
So I'll mention this because
well, if you
people,
take a if you take another checker from the 13 and put it down on your 9, 10, or 11, then I have to
whites or reds?
whites. You take one of those checkers and put it down on the 9, 10, or 11,
Yeah.
then I think red has to pass. And if you put it even on the 7 or 8, it doesn't create another attacking number, but it puts another checker in the zone. If you put it there, this might still be a tiny take. If you take that extra checker that we've moved and put it out on the 9, 10, or 11, I think it's a pass.
So some of the
Let's see.
people, some of the viewers ask me how I do this because they want to learn to use XG. So I basically have two windows of XG open. So I'm on the window right now where the match is. So I select this position, I hit Control Shift and C for copy. And then I go to the other window and hit Control V for paste, and it'll ask you if you want to save this or no. So this is the position, and now you can modify it. So like you put it, you move it, you right click, and then you
This
look
I would
at
have
it.
passed. This I would have passed. Okay.
Yeah, so this
All
is a
right.
pass,
And
but
now
it's,
this is going to be a very thin take.
well, it's actually a
Oh,
bigger
this is
pass.
worse. All right.
Interesting.
Why is that
Yeah.
worse?
Another checker bearing on the ace point, maybe.
Maybe. I put that on checker on the 8 for a second.
Yeah,
No, that's a thin set pass too. All right. Any other checker in the zone makes it a pass.
yeah. So this is like what I tell people. You have to do experiments. They say, how do you?
This one, I think I would have made a mistake in taking,
But it's close. This
but
is
it's close
small.
here.
So this is the kind of experiment you have to do with XG because XG is not going to tell you the reason. You have to modify the position and then see what happens in terms of these numbers and see. Um, good. Okay. So then we couldn't come in, and then it was here. And the 3-2. Oh, it did like the 6-4. Interesting. This is a tough one.
Quite a bit surprised that it's that big a difference.
So am I. I'd have to take a look at the numbers further.
And it's worse in every aspect. We win fewer games, and we lose more gammons.
1917. Oh, wins. Oh yeah, loses
It's
more
not
game.
just It's not just situationally wrong. It's just completely wrong.
Wow. Interesting.
I guess we're just wrong to give any outside hits here.
I'll look at this a
I
little
mean,
bit.
the third blot on the 4 point, I guess doesn't matter because in this situation, we survive if we make an anchor, and we don't survive if we don't make an anchor. And even if a third guy gets hit, um, it all comes down to whether we make an anchor because we're usually gonna get gammon here. Of course, we didn't actually get gammon because we rolled the double sixes and roll well, but we normally get gammon when things go very badly here.
Yeah, I guess here you can make the 19 anchor as opposed to the 17 anchor.
Yeah,
Okay.
or you just exposing that blot to 3 direct shots instead of 2.
Yeah,
I didn't consider that too heavily because the ones are duplicated.
right.
But maybe that was the error in my thinking.
So you don't want to get hit as much. And we might be able to see that here. dice map. So ones, threes, and fives. I guess the fives. Fives play a little better here. This is something people can do. You select these and you right click and go to dice distribution, and it'll show you these. So we can analyze that later, but this is for the purpose of teaching the viewers. Okay. So then it was a 6-1. There wasn't much we could do here.
So the 6-1 was correct, right? Let's see what we had in the 6-1.
The 6, oh, this is the final. Okay, so the 6. Yes.
Yeah, coming out to the 18 is a big mistake because probably for the same reason that it was a big mistake to come out last time. You'd rather be hit inside than outside here.
Yeah, you'll get a blot.
Yeah.
You get a shot. Okay. And then
I don't think there's much more to this game. We just wound up rolling boxes to save the gammon.
yeah. Did you want to look at those minor things when we were trying to save the
Sure, we
game?
can. We can, sure.
Yeah. Let's see here. This one. See it here, like
We did
killing
like
that.
175. Okay.
5-1, 6-5, and these were all close. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was about it. Okay. And then we'll go to the third and final game. So the 4-1, the 3-1 was good, and the 5-4. Okay. I like bringing two down. Guess more wood in the zone.
Yep.
Aha, so this was
we did have a small double here.
yeah, I was looking at that, and I suspect it has a lot to do with the score too. So let's this is another thing you can do. So you copy and paste, and then you can modify the score. So let's say it was for money. It's a small no double.
Small no double. Okay.
And let's say it's the first game of a 5-point match. You don't double quite as aggressively. Small no double, or maybe a 7-point match, which is closer to money.
That looks like the money's. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, things
that's
like this happen all the time. This isn't the type of thing I'm gonna, beat myself up on because it's not really. It's a, I knew it was close. It's.
yeah.
And
It's
there's nothing really teachable about this. Okay, I mean you're gonna make lots and lots of .03 errors. Okay, it's just a judgment call. I could change the position of one checker here, then it will be a small, a small double. So no, this is the type of thing that's interesting, but you can't beat yourself up over it.
What if you had um like this?
Well, that's a much stronger position because I've
Right.
got more potent follow through if I hit the checker, and I also have more numbers to make the 3 points, and it's pretty clear that my worst number on his side of the board is a 5 because I can't use a 5, but 5s are blocks for both of the rear checkers, and I can't hit with any 5. So it's nice to have some good 5s, 5-2, and 5-3 on my side of the board. So
Right.
this is an obvious improvement. The 3-2 doesn't matter as much because of this position. I would make the 21 with 3-2.
Right. Okay. Very good. So then the 2-1, you anchored on the 23. And yep.
I
I,
thought so. It's too
yeah,
loose to be on this point. You just, as I thought, it pays off when he fans, but you're just left with nothing when he comes in.
right.
Most
And then the 6, yeah, 6-3 and then 5-4. And then the 6-4 was coming in, 4-3 hits there. Okay, so this was the 4-1. Okay, so you needed to hit. What do you mean?
I also thought that bar 24 7-3 would be a lot better than bar 21 4-3, but it's actually close. Yep. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, it is. I mean, this is an application of the McGreal type principles. We're losing the race. We have an anchor. Those basic considerations pointed to hitting, and I chose not to follow that, and that's how we got to this point. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it's gonna the big
Oh, yeah.
difference is when he fans.
Yeah,
Because
these fans are
yeah,
huge.
these quarter of the time we can it's a double pass.
Cash. Now,
Yeah.
these colors are not on the same scale. That's the issue with this one because you see this bright green, these are one. The brightest green here is at like a 0.1, 0.2. So you can't really equate this. This should be more of like a yellow.
I mean, but what this shows you quite clearly is that the play I made is better modestly for any entering number, but we count equity. The fact that it was better for three-quarters of the number doesn't matter because we're not measuring how many numbers is it better for versus how many is it worse for. We're measuring
Right.
equity and the swing on those nine numbers when he fans. If you could pull up the other chart you had,
Yeah, well,
uh,
this is the one that shows how big the swings are, you see?
shows how big the swings are. Right. So we pick up a little bit consistently when he enters, but we lose a ton when he would have fanned.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's why you have the adage when in doubt hit.
Yeah.
And I should have followed it.
Okay, so and then the double two, yeah. So we kind of
These
talked through
plays
this.
these plays are not close. Any of the other we thought that this was a difficult play, but in fact this is the best play. It's the only acceptable play.
But the I think like your reasoning when you were talking through it kind of helped you get to it, right?
Yeah. I mean this is a play worth spending some time on in a live tournament.
Yeah. Okay. Then the 5-2.
So it was clear.
Yeah, that was the right idea.
Yep,
And the 3-1.
we had to do that. Heat
Double.
sink.
Over here, I was thinking, was it a double? No, this was not a double. But here,
We had a thin take, yep.
yeah, it was a small take actually. Interesting. Okay.
Now I'm wondering if my 6-2 is an error. Is it the 21-15-9-7? This is what got us in trouble because he rolled the 3-1 perfecta. No,
No,
no, leaving it there to harass him is slightly better than 21-13.
these are these blots, right?
Yeah.
So what if there were no blots
Well, no, obviously we wouldn't do it.
like this
No,
that you
well, then it would be a
can't
colossal error.
can't afford to do that.
You're not actually holding anything.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tremendous error.
Yeah, it's clear, right? Yeah.
You don't even see it as you don't even see 20. You don't even see it listed as a play.
Yeah, good for the viewers. Okay. So let's see what else. It was here, and this was just like trying to save the gammon. And at the end, rolled a 6-5.
Yep.
Uh, very good. So well played. Good match.
Yeah, there were two big errors there. The five early on that didn't slot the back of the prime, and then actually three big errors. The two coming out when we were being blitzed and trying to survive, and then that yeah, those were the two big errors. Oh, and then
So
the 4-1. Yeah, so there were three big errors. Tough
uh
plays. We had some tough plays we got right too. So not a great match, but not awful.
yeah, I think the important thing is that it's important to study.
Yeah.
Remember, so you were there at the tournament, but Dirk Sheeman was there, and what he told me is like, what did he say? Is a match where you don't study after is a wasted match because it's an opportunity to learn. So that's always useful to actually study. Like, what do you tell people about like studying their matches? What's the importance of that?
What I tell students that you want to study, commit about 75 or 80% of your time to studying and the balance to playing. So you're talking 3 or 4 to 1. And a lot of people, in particular, I've had some high school students don't want to do that. They want to play more. And there is a balance because high school students have a lot going on, and you don't want to make this into like another course because that can create stress, particularly if they're in the college application process. But on the other hand, we want them to get better in order to make the whole thing worthwhile. So there's a little bit of a balance there. But generally speaking, you want to study as much as possible. For me, You know, I go home, I print out my errors on my matches. I'll print out these three. You'll send me the file. I'll print out these three positions and add it to my database of errors and blunders, which is quite sizable, of course. And it's just something you know, I keep them. I look at my all the things that I've the plays that I've mishandled in, you know, the last 3 to 6 months, you know, right before I go to a tournament. In some cases, I'll take some of the sheets of paper with me. It's more the cube action that I take, ones with, you know, cube reference positions that I take with me, because if I took the checker play stuff, it would just become too voluminous. Um, and it's, you know, that's how I study from printing stuff out, writing myself a note, a little note, and then looking at it again.
Very good, very good. Outstanding advice for the viewers. So, as we're recording this, it's the end of the year, and we just completed the Los Angeles tournament. The next step is the New York Metro, and I know you're planning to go to that one, right?
Well, of course, that's my my backyard.
That's where you live. How far is it? You stay at the hotel or you commute back and forth?
It's a little cumbersome to commute back and forth. You could take the subway to the PATH train at the new Fulton Center, which is by the Freedom Tower for people who aren't familiar with New York. And all told, it winds up taking about an hour and 20 minutes. I can also walk about a mile and take one of the New York waterway boats to a point in New Jersey that's then about a 5 minute Uber ride from the hotel. So there's a variety of ways to do it. They're all about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes if you're on a budget. If I was on a budget, I could do that, but I generally just stay at the hotel because I want to, you know, use that extra time for sleeping or socializing with people.
Right, and of course, you go to the tournament, at least in part because of the proximity to where you live, but a lot of people go to this tournament, the New York tournament. What do you think is it that attracts people to this tournament? I know I did an interview with Lynn Ehrlich and she does an outstanding job.
I think a couple things. One, she's got some big events. There's a $1,200 super jackpot, and I think she'll get 16 for that day. Maybe in that 24, if I recall last year. You can look that up. And the Masters will get at least 48 and sometimes 64. So there's some half, you know, the attendance really flows through, and it flows through to the higher entry jackpot events. You know, I think so that will bring in some of the European and Japanese pros. I think for Americans, most people like coming to visit New York at least once a year. And so they'll come in, maybe they'll come in early and go to a show or go to a fancy restaurant or whatever. But the location of the hotel right near the PATH train makes it easy to get into Lower Manhattan, you know, in about a half an hour. And certainly during the 2.5 hour dinner break on Friday or Saturday night, you will see people take the train into Manhattan and go and eat at a restaurant there.
Well, very good, very good. That should be an outstanding tournament. Looking forward to that. It's always a pleasure to see you both on this video call, but also in person. It's really a different experience. So I appreciate you coming to Los Angeles. I have difficulty traveling myself because of work and family obligations, but it's really nice when people come here.
You'll
So
get
thank
there.
you.
I'm a few years older than you. My kids were young once too.
So how old do the kids have to get before you can start traveling some more?
Probably young teenagers. My boys are 21 and 16 now, and I've been doing this for a while. Obviously, my wife is very supportive, which is a necessary condition. But yeah, I've sort of been a regular on the tour, I'd say since 18, maybe 17, late 17, early 18. So
Maybe I'll
we're now at
maybe
about
I'll have my wife talk with your wife.
okay, okay.
Convince her a little bit. Very good. Do you have any
I
fun?
can't guarantee any results, but we can always try.
I know. I know. All right. Any final comments before we conclude the video?
No, no. I mean, I've enjoyed doing this. We had very interesting match with some nuanced checker plays, which I like, and uh, yeah, I think there was a lot to study, a lot to learn from there, and happy to do it again at some point in the future.
Very good. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Your insights are always invaluable, as well as when you come on the live stream at the tournament. So we'll go ahead and conclude. Thank you again to my good friend, Backgammon Grandmaster Chris Trencher from the New York area. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. And if you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in the lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.